Nestled in the heart of the Italian Dolomites, Selva Val Gardena isn't just a world-class skiing destination, it's a winter paradise. Join me, Daniel Haydock, as I share my recent trip with my partner Viktoriia on what it was like getting to, staying in and experiencing the marvels of Selva. Selva Val Gardena, known as Cuisine and Groden to its German-speaking locals, is located in the region of Trentino Südtirol in the northeast of Italy. The four closest airports are Bolzano, Innsbruck, Verona and Venice. Our flight left at approximately 6:15 am and arrived in Verona 2.5 hours later, meant we landed at a local time of 9:45 am. Approximately 45 minutes later, after collecting our luggage and passing through customs, we caught a short 15-minute bus from Verona Airport to Verona train station. Once at Verona train station, we printed our Trenitalia tickets before catching a 90-minute train to the town of Bolzano. This 11 am fast train had departed Naples earlier that morning and was heading to Munich via Innsbruck. After a short lunch, we got a 40-minute bus for the last leg of our journey to Selva. Weaving our way up the mountains, we passed through the other neighbouring towns of Ortisei and San Cristina. We eventually arrived at our accommodation by about 3 o'clock. So in Selva, we stayed at Villa Cicada for 6 nights, from Sunday through to Friday. This charming 6-bed guest house and bed and breakfast served as an excellent base for a week in Selva. At first glance, I wouldn't say this property was particularly aesthetically impressive, and for this reason perhaps easily overlooked. However, I would highly recommend it for the following reasons. The property itself is just a stone throw from the main road, yet far enough that it offered peace and privacy. And there was also a well-stocked supermarket nearby, which is very handy. In terms of skiing access, Villa Cicada is ski-in from the Donterceppe side and a 10-minute walk, about 600 meters, up to the nursery slopes, making it an ideal accommodation for young families. Equally, Villa Cicada is also 10 minutes from the main Ciampinoi lift station, and if you don't fancy walking, you can also hop on the free bus for one stop, which leaves regularly from the nearby Piazza San Nives. Point 2. The property itself. The property itself is excellently maintained with high quality finishes throughout. Little amenities like the heated boot room, large wraparound balcony and kitchen access really enhance the experience. It is clear the owner and staff take great pride in running this bed and breakfast, as reflected by their superb 9.4 out of 10 review score on booking.com. The third reason why I would recommend Villa Cicada is, of course, its value. Villa Cicada offers excellent value, particularly for the town of Selva, which in general is regarded as an upmarket resort. We paid $160 per night, and this rate included breakfast. However, we did book quite far in advance in August. I would definitely recommend booking in advance like we did to secure a spot, as rooms are very limited. So in terms of ski hire, we use Quality Noleggio Ski, and this shop has 2 locations. The shop we used was the one opposite the Ciampinoi lift. I paid approximately €200 for 5 days rental, and this included my boots, poles and skis, and that was with a 10% online discount. Viktoriia paid a little bit less as she went for entry-level skis, given that she's still a beginner. So she paid €155 for 5 days rental, and again this included poles, boots and skis. In terms of ski school, Viktoriia did 5 days of lessons at Scuola 2000. Again, I'll include all links in the description, and this cost approximately €229. For the first 4 days, so this was Sunday through to Thursday, the classes ran in the mornings from 10:30 to 1 o'clock. This was perfect as it meant we could get a few warm-up runs done in the morning, and then Viktoriia would go off and do her skiing, I would do my skiing, and we would meet up again for lunch. So in the 5th and final day was slightly different in that it was a full excursion day, and this was the real driver for picking this ski school. Class ran from 10:30 to 4 o'clock, and what they had hoped to do was the Sella Ronda route, but due to high winds, this route was unfortunately closed. Nevertheless, they still had an excursion, and they actually went over to San Cristina and skied the famous FIS Saslong World Cup run. This was a real highlight of the week for Viktoriia, and it included a group lunch, and then at the end of the skiing, they concluded the day with some Après Ski in La Stua. So overall, it was a great finish to a week of skiing. Since 2014, the World Ski Awards, which is the ski industry's equivalent to the Oscars, has rated Val Gardena Italy's #1 ski resort. There are a few reasons for this. One being extensive and varied slopes. Val Gardena offers extensive and varied slopes. From high altitude World Cup runs to serene tree-lined beginner areas, there is something for everyone. 2. A state-of-the-art lift system. Fast modern lifts means less queuing and more skiing. 3. Snow reliability. We were lucky when we went, as there was a big dump of natural snow just before we arrived. In any case, Val Gardena has invested heavily in snowmaking capabilities, with over 90% of its slopes covered by snow cannons. This reliability means skiers can enjoy excellent conditions even during warmer winters or early and late seasons. 4. Breathtaking scenery. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its extreme natural beauty and geological importance, Val Gardena offers some of the most spectacular views in the world. The towering snow-capped limestone peaks of the Dolomites rise sharply from the valley floors and contrast against the dark green pines. Okay, let's talk about food. I think it would be remiss of me to do a trip to Italy and not discuss the food. Breakfast was included in our stay at Villa Cicada and served each morning from 7:30 to 9:30. Lunches were definitely a highlight of this trip, particularly Pizzeria Rino, where we had 3 lunches, I believe. This was a very authentic Italian restaurant. It served excellent pizza, pasta, really hearty soups. Another surprise was the Ciampinoi pizza self-service. There was a lovely array of fresh food, reasonably priced, made to order pizza, again hearty soups, fantastic view. No, I really recommend Ciampinoi self-service at the top of the Ciampinoi lift. Dinner options in Selva were plentiful and never disappointed. It would just take me too long to discuss each restaurant and meal we had individually, so I will instead share some highlights and include all links where we ate in the description below. Bar and Après Ski. I think Selva deserves a quick mention for its bar and après ski scene. Although I didn't get to these places myself, the top spots are La Stua, Louis Keller and Bar des Alpes for a more relaxed vibe. Right, bonus tips. Tip number 1, make dinner reservations. We were very lucky on this trip. I think just because we're a couple who like to have our dinner early, we always got a table. However, we did see many people get turned away, so I would definitely recommend making dinner reservations. Tip number 2, if you're like me and you like a steam and a sauna after a day skiing, but your hotel doesn't have those facilities, I recommend checking out Hotel Nives. My partner Viktoriia booked a massage for the last evening, and that included access to the spa, swimming pool, steam room, sauna, and she highly recommended it, so that is definitely worth checking out. Tip number 3 would be try and see the towns of San Cristina or Ortisei if you can, particularly for you shoppers out there. Ortisei is supposed to be one of the most beautiful villages in all of the Dolomites and has an excellent selection of shops. Tip number 4 would be overnight in Verona. So we had 6 nights in Selva, 5 days of skiing. We could have stayed Friday night as well, and that would have given us an extra day of skiing. However, we chose to break up the trip back and stay in Verona, and this was an excellent decision. Verona is definitely a beautiful city and worth checking out, and we happened to coincide with the pre-Lent festivities, and this was just sheer coincidence. And we also had a fabulous meal in a place called Trattoria Pani Vino. Again, I've attached the link, but I would highly recommend. It was one of the best meals of the trip. Conclusion. As our journey through Selva comes to a close, it is clear this is more than just a skiing destination. It is a place where nature, culture, and passion for winter sports come together in perfect harmony. Whether you're carving down slopes, indulging in the gourmet cuisine, or simply soaking in the views, Selva Val Gardena promises to be an unforgettable experience. Thank you for joining us on this alpine adventure through Selva Val Gardena. We hope this glimpse into its wonders has inspired your next winter getaway. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more travel inspiration. I'll see you in the next one.